Okay, guys, here it is. I really hope that you guys appreciate how much work this is about to be for me to unwrap all of these and show them to you. Plus my 2.5-year-old just ran in here and went wee and jumped right in the middle of the pile and started stomping around on everything, and I had to be nice and say, please don't do that. When inside I died a little bit. So I have loads of Dooney. I would say primarily Dooney. Then we have some Patricia Nash, some Gigli, and there's a Speedy in the front there, Louis Vuitton Speedy, which I just sold this morning. And there's one other bag over here I just sold. So that's kind of prompting me what to do. These videos is so I can show everything. That's the Dooney Vachetta medium satchel in black. All right, guys, here it is. I'm gonna go through these one by one, tell you what they are, where I got them, how much I paid for them, blah, blah, blah. But keep in mind that most of these I, in the end, do not end up paying for. So once upon a time, when these are all gone and I'm tired of them, if that happens, I paid $0. So if you want to know how to pay $0 for your bags, just stay tuned. So let's do our tour. I do have more small bags that aren't out, but it's not a ton. I'm not going to worry about it because they're back over there and I can't get to it. So this is a little Dooney white cabbage rose in the teeny little baby bitsy bag. I think I've used that just a couple times. It's like a go out without kids real quick bag. I do have a lot of labels. Most of these have labels that I printed off on my computer, and it looks like I laminated it, but I don't have that much time. I actually use thick packing tape and just cover it real quick, trim it out, tie it to my string, and it really does take 2 seconds. But that way, when they're all up hanging on the wall, I know what's what to pull down to use. This everyone knows. This is a Dooney medium satchel in natural. I've not used that yet. When I first got it in, it was like a mustard color. It was hideous. And so I've left it out in my office, uncovered it. It's probably actually lighter underneath these because I wrap it up tight to make sure the tassels stay tight. But it has darkened quite a bit just from light and stuff in my office. So I might sell that one. I don't know. I feel like with my kids, that's just a joke to try to carry that one. This black one I sold today, along with my Speedy. Sold that today. So that was kind of, I needed to get this video out. Those two are going out the door. The black is beautiful. It's amazing. I wanted it so bad. What I have found is it's just kind of witchy is the only way that I can put it. Sometimes things are just too black, and I don't know. I think because I wear a lot of black, I don't know. But I just don't use it. I've not used it yet. And yeah, sold that. This is the Gigli. This is their tall east-west tote. And this is smooth leather blush. I really like their new interior. It's similar to their old interior, but it's a little bit more brown. I had an appointment with a surgeon up at the hospital, and so there's just everything in this bag, and it still had room, so it's a great bag. This is also Gigli. This is a Croco fold-over satchel that they don't make anymore. It is quite pretty. And the tassel's different color, which I don't know, for some reason I just thought made it even prettier. I don't know if I'll keep that or not. I usually keep these around. If I end up using them, great. If I don't, I sell them. For some reason, this Bristol is black on black, just like the medium satchel, but because it's not so big, I don't think I'll ever part with that black Bristol. So I have used most of these. Well, I can't say most of them. Probably half of them I've used. I do wrap them back up like that and then I restuff them when I'm done with them. Clean out any crumbs inside, vacuum, whatever. Restuff them, put them back in my bag. It literally takes, oh my gosh, 4 minutes, and I just feel like it's really well spent because the next time you go to use it, it is brand new, basically. That is one of my favorite leathers Dooney makes. That is the It's the same size as the Bristol. If you can see, it's the exact same bag as well as those other Bristols back there. It's actually called the domed satchel, even though it's the same size as the Bristol, because the leather is different. Bristol has to be Florentine. So this is a domed satchel in the Toledo leather, which is kind of a very varying in color, very kind of shiny in the right light. It's shiny and just beautiful leather, kind of a thicker leather. And that's in the gray shade. So it's definitely brown, but it's kind of these hues of gray and brown all mixed together. Super stunning. That, oh, and I paid $100 for that. I don't remember what I paid for that black Bristol. I don't pay full price for anything except, now that we're, that's the one Dooney right back there in the oyster, the domed Saffiano satchel and oyster. It's the one bag I literally bought off QVC. I paid full price. I did probably 6 payments of $40 or something like that. So that's probably my one bag in here I did pay full price on. Next to that is, again, the Saffiano domed satchel in light pink. Bought that for $100. It's brand new, never used, and I was gonna flip it and list it for more money, and I just fell in love with it. And it's pink and it's summery, and it's not close enough to the oyster for me to, I don't know what to do. I kind of want to keep it. So back in this corner, in the far back right, is Gigli. It is one of their new redos of their Roma, which is huge. It's definitely an overnight bag. I would not carry that as a purse. It's too big. I like big bags, and it's too big. I got that as an overnight bag to go to the hospital, and I also didn't really have a good overnight bag. I know that might sound silly. It is bigger than all the ones that are around it. So it was on clearance for $100, and I got that. That's a smooth vaqueta leather from Spain or something like that. The two snake ones right there is they're both Gigli, and the blue is Blue Cobra, and the one on the right is called Peach Python. There we go. Peach Python. And those are their big, that's the Roma 4 is what that one's called. So you can actually push the edges in, and it looks like a much smaller bag. So once all the stuffing's out of it, it's beautiful. Really, really nice. And I got those for, I think, $100. Back in the middle there is a Dooney Bourke Smith bag. Let me move up closer to that one. It is just the most stunning bag, and I've never used it, and it's actually quite a rare color. That is the Dooney Bourke Smith bag in chestnut, and I bought that. Everybody hold on to your hats. I bought that for, I think, $78, free shipping. Person didn't know what they had. They just listed it. They took the crappiest pictures in the world, and yeah, so I have not used it. I might sell that one. I'm not sure, but chestnut's kind of a hard color to find in that. That's the Gigli Milano in Croco. That's the color of their Croco. That's the tassel that's all tied up, the strap. Next to it is Gray Ostrich. I have used the Croco. I've not used the Gray Ostrich. I do have another one of those in this room in another color. I'll show you that in a little bit. It's like an ivory ostrich. Next to that, you guys, I'm excited about this. This is an original Roma. And if you don't know, for this Gigli brand, this is all QVC. It's kind of their more expensive line, but I just end up getting it for dirt cheap. One tip, I'll show you, I've got several other Gigli bags in here. You can get them for nothing, and I mean nothing, on eBay. Nothing. That is brand new, never used. I got that for $89. The only reason that's my most expensive one off of eBay that is the Gigli brand, but because it was brand new, I just had to have it. So it's the original Roma in the blush, and it is just beautiful. I'm really excited to use that one. I have not used that yet. Here's another Gigli, far left. These zips come down. And let me actually do this and show you. So the blue snake is exposed, and then those hang down, and I don't know, it looks dorky here, but anytime I've seen it, anybody that has those zips. It's kind of a popular style these days. I just love it. I love it so much, and I like that it's just a teeny bit of personality, but most of the bag is completely plain, and I love their plain brown interior. It's all trimmed with the snake color that's on the outside. Inside the zippers, on the inside of the bag is trimmed with it. So just gorgeous, and that's their tan Bacata leather. It's not going to be, none of these Gigli bags are going to be Dooney quality. I'm going to admit that right now. They are just not. They wear on the corners worse. Sometimes the leather can peel off after you've beat it to death and used it a lot. But you know, they're not the same price either. I mean, unless you're dumb enough to pay $400 for one full price. So I think $100, I think you pay for what you get. Plus you can get them for a lot cheaper. So, but they're a fun bag. Sometimes, you know, Dooneys have such a strong look. If you look down here, they're so obviously a Dooney. They all look so similar, and I love that, and that's one thing I love about them, and the quality and their stitching and the smell. They're just amazing. They definitely all look kind of the same to me, and sometimes I'm just not in the mood for that, and so that's why I've kind of branched out to do some other brands, is I'm just not in the mood sometimes to have that exact look, you know, with the big rings and everything. So in the middle right here is a Dooney that kind of doesn't look like that. That is their tall tote. The middle of that flops over. It's a really smooth, that's their smooth leather, Newberry leather, and it's one of the biggest totes they have. In fact, it has that giant oversized zipper on the top of it, and it actually reminds me of the giant zipper that was on in my last collection video that I sold. It was one of the bigger Dooneys. It was like an overnight bag. It was huge. So I love that chunky beefed up zipper. Here is the Milano in the ivory. I've used that a little, and I've actually had that for a long time. And you know what? With Dooney hardware, and also any of this super shiny Gigli hardware, or any hardware in general, this is an Oriani, has very shiny hardware. I've learned that with these bags that Dooney has the best hardware. It really is jewelry quality. I don't know that I would consider Gigli's to be jewelry quality. However, if you wipe down the hardware once in a while with a jewelry cloth, it will probably last you a really, really, really long time. So cheaper hardware on bags, you can keep it up and keep it looking nice. My tip would definitely be to get just a jewelry cloth at any jewelry store and just wipe it down. Even if you see little tarnish spots, you can actually polish them out. So keep that in mind. I'm a stickler with bags because of their hardware. I can't have spotted, gross, worn hardware, or I will never, ever, ever, ever use it. So bottom right is going to be into my Bristol collection. That goes with all of those. That one, I'm learning that the Florentine is really difficult. I mean, it does just give it personality. I live in the Northwest now, and it rains, and it's kind of hard to keep really nice, but you kind of have to just know that the more spots it gets and the more wear it gets, it's just, you have to just consider it that it gets prettier. So I do love that one. I have used that one, and then obviously I put the plastic back on it and stored it back in. This is a Gigli. This is the nude snake. It's a very, very realistic snake. I am not a snake person. I'm going to be honest. The fact that I bought that and those two back there, I really blew my own mind because I'm not a snake person. What you have to do is just, what I have to do is just take one out if I'm going to use it, which I've not used any of them, have it out for my bag, and just say, okay, I'm going to use this for a week, and I'm basically stuck in neutrals all week. So I'm going to wear sheer white blouses or tan blouses or whatever with jeans, with black slacks, with black shoes, with whatever. Like, you just have to kind of bank on dressing neutral. I'm not going to wear a red flowered blousey cute outfit and shirt and then carry a snake bag. Like, I just can't do that. So for me, it's definitely not one that you would keep out and use for 6 months or even 3 months or even a month, because I do feel like it kind of controls what you wear if you don't want to look like an idiot. So that's that one. I got that one, you guys, for I believe it was $39 free shipping. It is brand new, never been used. When those first came out, I believe they were $250 or $300 for that. So let's see, this white one is a Gigli. That's the Gigli stirrup satchel bag. Tons of room. Nice plain. See, it used to be a more khaki. See how that's a khaki lining? And then look at the brown. I much prefer the new lining. I love that neutral brown over the khaki. I never liked this cool khaki color. It's just not my thing. But I bought this brand new, never used for $49, free shipping. So that's a great little bag. So before I finish, I will just jump right in and tell you about how I don't pay for my bags. By the way, these are 2 bags. I work for Patricia Nash just as a vendor. I go in and tidy up her bags, redo all her display tables. I go in about 3 days a week for 4-hour shifts, and it's the most amazing job I've ever had in my whole entire life. And I just got those 2 bags. I get 50% off her stuff, and that's Italian leather. That one's like a little picnic basket bag. It's actually a pretty big bag. They both have straps. Stunning. Look at the detail on this. So she had seen a feathered bag in a vintage store and wanted to recreate it. So they put these leathers, looked like feathers, all over the front, and then they got it wet and rubbed it and then let it dry. And so it just kind of has this crinkled, vintagey look. Just the most stunning thing you've ever seen. So anyway, what I was saying, I got those for $140. I paid for both of them. They're both $300 bags. I paid $140 for both. How I don't pay for my bags? Let me tell you thy ways. Here's how. Is the initial investment is there, but then later it's not. So I paid $300 for that. Just sold it this morning for $650. A lot of these I paid $100 for. So here's how you want to do this. If you want a collection like this and in the end you don't want to pay anything, I get them for crazy, crazy good deals. Such good deals, usually brand new, that when I go to sell them, I will make money on them. And I'm not talking 10 bucks. I'm talking 50 minimum. Some of them 250. This one this morning, my profit, even after I pay fees and stuff like that, is going to be $300. So basically just buy them for a crazy good deal, take care of them. Then when you sell them for more than what you bought them for, and you make money, and then all of a sudden, you know, you didn't pay anything for that bag. In the end, I'm not spending money on purses. Whereas, you know, if you go and buy that and then resell it years later, you're losing money on that bag. Whereas the way that I do it is if you buy low and take care of it, you can sell high and literally make money while you're playing with a fun collection like this. So that's my tip for that. And then I do have a couple others to show you. This is a LL Bean duffel. Has a big, thick, wide shoulder strap. It's perfect for like Christmas bazaar and different things where you want like a big, cozy. These, when they first came out, these were about $150, I think. It's called the LL Bean wool Downeaster. And it's just kind of a, you know, it's, I mean, that's a Speedy. Speedy's not a huge bag. It's a little longer, but it's definitely not a huge duffel. This was my Mother's Day present. This is Oriani. And when I saw this on the video on QVC, because I'm a dork and I watch those shows, I was like, why? Well, it's probably like toothpaste or something gross from my kids. I was like, why is that the most stunning color ever? And the reason I thought that was because no matter all the girls that held it on the video, one had like a red shirt on and it looked good. One had a blue shirt on and it looked good. Like, look how it looks next to the blue bag down there. Or the cream or the brown. This is a total neutral. No matter what I'm wearing, it looks amazing and matches. So I don't know why this weirdo mauve color, I've only seen it in one other brand. Weirdo mauve, pinky mauve, It is the best neutral, and I'm actually going to show you guys what this looks like inside because I love it so much. So I love their little leather logo inside. The hardware, the leather, it's really one of my, this is not a Dooney leather. This is a roll it up and use it as a pillow leather. Like, it's super slouchy and soft, which once you have all your stuff inside, it's not really a problem. There's the strap. I love this lining. Now, I have had a couple Orianis before that I actually sold, and they had that lining. Not really into that lining for the inside of my bag. It's like too much. I don't know. It's just too much. So I love this new light neutral lining. I just think it's so beautiful. Especially it's like that silvery white, and then the contrast with all the gold hardware. I just absolutely love this. So this, what was this called? The color's Antique Rose, maybe? And it's like this little cute bowler bag. I just love it. In fact, I wanted to go back and get it in another color, but I really think I've got enough purses, don't you? Don't you? Let's do a double check, see if I went over everything. So I kind of lied. I found 3 more. These ones actually had boxed up by the front door to sell. This one is black Saffiano. I got this for nothing. And because I have the black Bristol, I just didn't think the black Saffiano domed that I should keep it. It's adorable, but I think I'm gonna list that one. And this one, this is the Nubuck. I wish you guys could feel this. It's seriously so soft. Really good condition. This one has been used. Again, another eBay find that I got for nothing. So I think I will go ahead and list that one. The material like this that's really suede-y, and with kids, I just don't see myself using it. So I might as well sell it because the first time I use it, it would get destroyed. And then this is a medium satchel in light taupe. So if you've been thinking about getting a lighter neutral or the light taupe and you kind of wanted to see what it looks like more in person, this is it. I did also just want to take a second to show you guys how I pack these. Basically, you see this is what happens to these tassels, even though that's a brand new bag and hasn't been used. Those tassels should not look like that. So I actually get these from the drugstore. It's the clear ones, the Goody Ouchless, and I'll put those on and show you what that does. It doesn't matter if it's Florentine leather or if it's this Saffiano, just keeps them nice and tight. So, and I do that every time I go to put the bag away. I do that. And, or I wrap them in paper. Do you know what is the perfect paper size for this? Is you go to the office supply aisle and you actually get the paper that goes in the roller printing calculators and I roll out about a 6-inch, 7-inch long strip and then roll it around both the tassels and then put one of those clear bands down at the bottom. And the reason I do that is if I'm using one band for both tassels, it probably would leave an indent. So I use that tape to protect the tassels so there's no indents. But Saffiano is so hard, and as long as you do one rubber band per tassel, then you're good. And that just keeps them looking really nice and new. So every time I go back to use that bag, it's like unpacking a brand new bag. And then when I go to sell it, it just still looks brand new. Just a quick example of how I pack these and put these away. So I've used this a few times. It has some rain spots on it. It actually, when I ordered it, it came with this spot on it right here. So I don't know, this lighter color kind of stresses me out a little bit. But I put all the moisture packets back in the bottom, always, always, always. In fact, I went on eBay, bought a huge bag of these extra packets. So I always have lots. So I always do that. And then I actually have in here, I have an organizer that I keep the sticker, the card, and the tag all together in a little organizer. That organizer's full. I bet you can't guess why it's full. And so these ones that I've only used a couple times, I just have been kind of saving time and just leaving it in there. I feel like they come in and then go out pretty fast sometimes, so I don't know. Then I stuff it all in there. Then I stick the strap back in the plastic that it came in. Stick it in there. Zip it up. Sometimes I put this plastic, I just kind of wrap it around to protect it, mainly with Florentine. So it's not on there like it comes when you first buy it, but mainly with Florentine to keep it just from scratching. And then these plastic things I did save and wrapped those around, and then it goes back in its little labeled dust bag and then back up on my, let's show you guys if I can make you not seasick. The bags live up on top of the white shelf, and all on there that was filled about 3 hours ago with all my Dooneys, and then I have more shelves in my, it's my little shipping center over there. More shelves in my my closet in my bedroom, where I keep the rest of them. Anyway, that's my collection, guys. I hope you really liked it. Let me know if you have any questions. If you need names of any of these bags. Hi, baby.
I'm in here.
You're what?
I'm in here.
You're in here?
Yeah.
Are you naked?
Yep.
Okay.